Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, also known as ETCG1 on this here channel. Note the hat. Here on ETCG1 we talk about stuff. We don't do repair videos, but if you're looking for repair videos, I've got something for you. A link in the description to my Eric the Car Guy channel. You can go there and watch all the repair videos you like. However, if you wish to stick around and join in the conversation, I welcome you to do so. So thank you for joining us. Today's topic, pride in your work. I think it's something all of us take very seriously to some degree, even those of us that don't take pride in our work. I think you know if you take pride in your work or not, and I think actually most of us that do this type of thing, I think we usually do. I think that's one of the things that drives us to do this type of work, because we like overcoming those obstacles. We like to solve that problem that can't be solved and be like the hero. Turn around, take something that's not working, that's broken, that you can walk in with your tools, do some changes, replace some parts, make some adjustments, whatever, and next thing you know, you've got a living, breathing thing, a machine that operates again. And that's something that you feel a sense of pride in doing, a sense of accomplishment in having done something. My Fairmont, I have a lot of pride in it because I'm not saying it was a bad car when I got it, but the more I work with it, the more it becomes mine. The more things I do to it, the more I drive it, the more time I spend with it, it's something that I find pride in. And it's not just because of the work that I've done, it's how I've done that work. It's the results that I've gotten from that work. Quality work is, well, in the repair industry is sometimes hit and miss. I will say that. And then when you find somebody who is, say, a technician that takes pride in their work, man, that is like the greatest thing, because it's like you found gold. You found somebody that actually cares about what they're doing, that takes pride in what they do. And that makes a big difference. Sometimes things might take a little bit longer, or you know, there may be certain things that come up. You may have to like wait in line, because if somebody's really good at what they do repair-wise, they may have lots of business, and I hope they do. And therefore, you may find yourself having to wait in line for quality work. But to find somebody who takes pride in what they do is a very good thing, and all too often, sometimes a rare thing. And it's not just the repair profession. I think in every profession, there's people who just sort of punch the clock and then watch the clock, and that's what they're doing. They're basically passing the time so that they can collect a check and go do something else. Okay, we're not all going to be, you know, dedicated to every single detail about what we do. And that brings me to another point, detail. I think pride in your work has a lot to do with those details. I think it has a lot to do with putting that plastic clip back that came out, and putting that little fastener back that holds something down that may not be critical, but it completes the job in such a way to where it's back better than it was to begin with. That's the whole point. You go and do a repair, you're hoping it's better than it was when you're done. And I think a lot of that comes from detail, and detail-oriented people, I think, are very good at this type of work, because there are a lot of tiny little bits and pieces that you need to deal with, and that can be frustrating at times. And sometimes it's easy to say, you know what, screw it. let's just do the bare minimum, let's just be done, let's walk away. But then there's the person that comes in and says, you know what, maybe I can do a little better. Maybe I can work a little bit harder. Maybe I can make this better than it was when I got it. And once again, those are the people that I respect and admire, and that's the type of person I try to be in the work that I do. And I guess you could say the work that I do these days is my videos, not just the repairs themselves. And I try to put quality into the things that I do. Especially when I was just a technician, before I did any of this video stuff, I took a lot of pride in my work. I really cared about the work that I put out. So much so that the 93 Vigor that I got recently, that is a direct result of me taking pride in my work. What had happened is I was working at the dealership, the car came in, it was due for some service work. I did all the service work to it, I got it running really good, I think, by the time I was done. I had a particular talent, and for those vehicles in particular. When the owner came and picked it up, they drove away from the dealership, and then they actually came back and spoke to my service writer and said, who worked on this car? And he told him, and he said, would you mind if I went over and talked to him? And he said, sure. So the guy came over to me, the owner, said, I don't know what you did, man, but that car has never run this good, ever. And that felt really good. It felt really good to have a customer that was so inspired by the work that I did to come back into the shop and actually say to me face to face, look, you did a great job. And not just then, but just ever since I started doing this, I'd strive for that type of thing. I strive to try to exceed expectation in my customers. It meant a lot to me. And as a result, I got a good reputation. And that reputation carried me through a lot. And I did pretty well as a result of it. And here I am down the road, that same person calls me up years later, it's like more than 10 years now, calls me up and says, hey, I'm ready to sell that car, do you want to buy it? I said, sure, I'll buy it. I got a very reasonable price. I think I told you I just got it for $500, so I'm very happy with that. And that was all a result of taking pride in my work. I never would have talked to that person, I never would have had that interaction had I not made the extra effort, had I not done what I could to make the best repair, the best service work that I could in that particular case. And that's the thing. I mean, you can get a lot from it. You can get a lot of personal satisfaction from doing this type of work. And I think that helps you develop that pride in the things you do. So I want to put it back to you. How do you feel about your work? How do you feel about taking pride in your work? Do you take pride in your work? Do you know people that take pride in your work, in their work, that you admire, that you look up to? Are there people out there that inspire you to do better? And how do you feel about all this? How do you feel about it? That's what we're here to do. We're here to have a discussion. In addition to the comments below, you can head over to ericthecarguy.com. There will also be a link in the description to a discussion about this video on my forum, if you care to join us over there. Also, if you have automotive questions, I would ask that you head over to ericthecarguy.com, where if you have automotive questions, there's a welcome video to tell you about all the amazing features we have there to help you with said automotive issues. If you wish to connect with me socially, I can be found on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. And I post ETCG1 videos every Monday, so come back and see me then. I also close each of my videos with, be safe, have fun, and stay dirty. I will see you next time. Take care, everybody, and take pride in your work.